Listen, I know that it's talking season. I know that there's nothing to do but talk.
Yep.
I know that there's not a lot of stuff to talk about because the police scanners are quiet and there are no traffic violations to speak of at the moment. But could we all just calm down about passing camps for 2 seconds? No? We can't? All right, well, let's talk about it today on Locked On.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back. This is Locked On Bulldog, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thanks for making us your first listen. And also, hey, thanks, FanDuel. You're fantastic.
FanDuel's the best. We'll talk about them more in a second.
We will, absolutely. Today's episode, we're talking about the stupidity of it's kind of like a Sports Center thing back in the day where somebody said, we're just grown men wearing makeup talking about sports, right? Mm-hmm. We're just grown men.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot of makeup, as you could tell.
Zero. If you're on the YouTube side, you know that there's no makeup.
T's and P's to you.
Sorry for you. If you're on the audio side, thanks. Switch those up. Subscribe, download, do all that. But we are just two men talking about, this is going to sound weird, but children in gym attire throwing to stationary objects.
Throwing footballs to no one? Okay. I don't know.
So this is what we're talking about today. And we're going to tell you... We're going to talk about the hysteria that was the Elite 11. We're going to say who was better, and then we're going to answer who cares. And then we're going to do real talk about prospects. And, this just in, if you hadn't realized today, Florida still sucks.
Yeah, that's always going to be a topic of conversation.
Billy, that these recruits we got coming in, number 3. No, stop. Just
Sunbelt Billy going to be back in the Sunbelt before too long. All right. So Dylan Raiola, obviously, at the Elite 11, lot of top quarterbacks. Ryan Puglisi, also Georgia commit. He's there at the Elite 11 as well.
Same team.
Now, that's interesting. Now, people puffing their chests out a lot this weekend, talking about MVPs and camp MVPs, and this guy looked better than this guy, and this guy looked better than this guy. Let's just start by saying this. It's kids throwing to no one. It's not actual football.
Nope.
Everyone just calm down. It's nothing worthy of hanging a banner over. Now, again, Georgia has been here before. When you don't have anything to actually cheer for on the field, when your team disappoints you year after year, when it's been a bit of time since you have hoisted a trophy of meaning and significance, you're going to do this. You're going to resort to being like other fan bases, and you got to win something. You have to win. And so, listen, when you win the Sugar Bowl, you're going to hang that banner, and they will never be able to take it away from you. And listen, you go to your grave knowing that you were a Sugar Bowl champion. When you win, when your quarterback commit wins the Elite 11 MVP, again, hang a banner, and that's great.
Two things in that. Let me just break down that statement. Still not on your team.
No. Not even a player on your team. Doesn't rep your school at all.
Not an actual game.
No football being played. There's not football.
And an award that was made up by people who like getting money from recruits and you all for doing a fake thing.
That is correct. It's a business that they're running, and guess who's being businessed? It's you.
It's you.
Okay. That's what the Elite 11 is, and it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's exciting for these kids. I know they have a great time. Ryan Puglisi, we talked about how it was the honor of his lifetime being chosen for that, and that's fantastic. Absolutely. Excited for these kids. The silliness around these fan bases who are just beating their chests and insisting that this is proof that their schools are better than other schools. It's fine. And I never thought I would say this. And then we'll go to break, and we'll come back in the second segment because I'm going to need some time to shake this off, even saying it. Where are the Ohio State fans who want to talk to me about a fake targeting call and a non-targeting call? Because Clint, at least it was football. At least we were talking about which football team was better than which football team. If you're a fan of a rival school, raise your hand if you want to talk to me, a Georgia fan, about which football team is better than other football teams.
Well,
is that a debate that you're interested in having?
Definitively not.
No, they're not. And so talk to me about all your camp MVPs. Talk to me about all your recruits. Talk to me about all of your Sun Belt coaches who are going to turn your program around. That's fine. When you want to talk about football, I would love to chit-chat with you about football. That'd be fun.
Footballing.
That's right.
We're going to be right back after this. But first, we need to let you all know about FanDuel. FanDuel is.
I think they know about FanDuel.
If they don't know, they should know. I'm sure somewhere in FanDuel you could have bet
on the Elite 11 MVP.
MVP. I'm sure you could have. No, FanDuel wouldn't have allowed that. I'm glad they didn't.
No, it's because it's a sports book, which means that you could bet on sports.
Okay, so right now, baseball season is kicking into high gear. And if you don't know about Ronald Acuna being the best player on the planet, shame on you.
Guys, if you're not a Braves fan, you listen to this podcast, T's and P's to you. We still love you. We're still happy to have you here, but you made a poor choice somewhere in your life. You made a poor
choice in your life. Get over right now, FanDuel.com. /locked on.
Yes, that's right.
This is going to get you to the site. It's going to make sure that when you put in your first amount of money to the FanDuel site, which is, by the way, the official sports book of Locked On Podcast and the official sports book of Locked On
me.
And Daniel and me. Get over there right now and enter the promo code Locked On. And if your first bet that you wager does not cash, you're going to get 1,000 bonus bet dollars back into your account. That's $1,000 in bonus bets from FanDuel.com/locked on. Get over right now. It's the official sportsbook. They are safe. They're secure. They are great. They are fantastic. We love them. We got season preview coming up. Get over there right now. FanDuel.com/locked on.
All right, Clint. So ultimately, who cares is the segment of the day. Who cares? Who's better? And I want to talk through some real talk on some prospects. And I want to talk about why Georgia definitively comes out of this Elite 11 better than any other school. Looking better than
like roses.
Any other school, hands down, unanimously. You can have whatever MVP award you want. So I want to talk about that in segment 3 for the 199. Let me just talk.
Okay, that's good.
Let me talk now about some history of because for such a prestigious camp, 11 quarterbacks invited every year, the best 11 quarterbacks in the nation. For such a prestigious camp, let's just talk about some success rates.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If you are an Alabama fan, you're like that raccoon that can't see anything and can't feel trepidation on the highway that is pitch dark.
You just staring down the 18-wheeler coming right at you. You don't care.
Get off the highway.
No, we coming.
Okay.
Here it comes. Let's start in 2017. It's the first year that all of the quarterbacks present at the camp are no longer in school anywhere. So we'll start there. 2017. We'll work our way backwards, and let's call a successful prospect. These are the best 11 quarterbacks in the country.
It's called elite.
Let's say a success would be drafted into the NFL in any round.
Just making a paycheck from the NFL.
Stetson Bennett was drafted into the NFL.
We got to talk about Stetson later on, by the way.
He was drafted into the NFL.
Yes, sir.
So surely these Elite 11 players can. Now I'm going to name the year, and quickly Clint's just going to tell you how many of these 11 quarterbacks were drafted into the NFL.
Here we go.
Are you ready? 2017.
5.
That's less than half. 2016.
5.
Still less than half. 15.
2.
2 of 11?
2 of 11, Daniel.
2014.
4.
2013.
3.
2012.
3.
2011.
2.
2010.
3.
And in 2009, one quarterback.
One
was drafted in the NFL. And his name was Blake Bell, and he was drafted as a tight end. 0 quarterbacks were drafted from the 2009.
Asterisk. That's a Barry Bonds.
It's a big time. Blake Bell was on steroids, I believe. So, like,
if you don't see his profile,
can confirm. I don't mean to disparage the good name of Blake Bell. He's just a big old boy. He can't help it. Probably was not on steroids.
I can't say.
Here's what I'm trying to tell you is that less than half of these quarterbacks are going to be drafted in any round into the NFL.
Yes.
Less than half.
Okay, that's intriguing.
So, if this is what you're hanging your hat on, and again, Georgia fans have been guilty of this for a long time. Georgia fans have done this. We have won recruiting national championships. We've won off-season national championships. We've been the most dominant team in the off-season every single year of our school's history. We've been mocked openly and 1980'd by rival fan bases till they're blue in the face. Mm-hmm. If this is what you're going to hang your hat on as a fan of a program, it's a less than 50% chance that this kid is even going to be much of anything
serviceable
for your school.
And when Daniel says drafted in the NFL, I'm going to read you a couple of names. We're talking Jameis Winston. We're talking Teddy Bridgewater.
Sure.
It's getting bad.
There's
Deshaun Watson.
Okay, well, that's just a bad human person.
Drew Lock, Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Josh Rosen. That's a success because he was drafted into the NFL. You understand what we're trying to say? Jacob Eason.
Guantanamo guarantee a win.
Guantanamo Bay himself.
Dwayne Haskins.
These are the wins.
These are the big guys.
What he's trying to say is they're not all Trevor Lawrences
this is what
at
I'm
this
trying to
camp.
tell you.
Now, was Trevor Lawrence an Elite 11 quarterback? Yes, he was. They're not all Trevor Lawrences.
No.
Some will be.
Sure.
Most will not be. So, again, Alabama, congratulations. It seems like your quarterback's good.
Good.
We have a quarterback that's quite good also in this class. Ohio State seems like you got a great quarterback. That's great. I hope neither of your programs have ever had great quarterbacks before and failed to win a national championship with them. Oh no, I accidentally just got into segment 3 when we'll be back to talk about what really matters with these prospects and why Georgia, again, comes out of this Elite 11 looking so much better than any other school, dare I say twice as good as any other school on this list. All right, so we're back, and it's segment 3, and we're going to talk about Georgia. We're talking about our team.
I want to talk about our team.
Why would I say, Clint? Because Dylan Raiola did not win the MVP of the Elite 11. Why do you think that I would be so naive as to think that Georgia would be, dare I say, twice as good of a position as any other school that had a quarterback represented at the Elite 11, even though our quarterback was not voted MVP of the camp?
Here's why, and again, I'm gonna go NBA reference for you here. For those degenerates amongst us who are Hawks fans, just get off the sinking ship. Okay?
It's tough times.
Joker. There was a meme that was going around. Joel Embiid wins the MVP award regular season.
Sure he does.
And there's this meme of the two of them racing towards the MVP. And Joel Embiid gets there first and grabs it. And Joker just keeps on running. And then he runs to the thing that actually matters. Championship. Daniel.
What if I told you that a coach that had a walk-on as a quarterback, a reject, nobody wanted him. You can't win with this quarterback. Ha, ha, ha.
Okay.
He had that guy, and he won back-to-back national championships. Won back-to-back national championships against guys like Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, Elite 11 super performers
That's
and
interesting.
first-round NFL draft picks. And now that same Georgia coach is going to be given an Elite 11 super performer as well as, wait for it, another Elite 11 super
So what
performer.
you're
Listen,
saying,
if it's a numbers game and
Okay.
we're saying less than half of these kids are actually going to pan out, that means Alabama, Ohio State, Florida, whoever you are that has a kid at this camp, Georgia's got twice as good of a chance as you do of having one of these kids pan out, because it's not just Dylan Raiola that's coming to Athens. Ryan Puglisi acquitted himself quite well at this camp.
Yes,
He's a different type of player than Raiola is.
very.
And listen, I don't think he should be ruled out as the guy in this class who's going to elevate himself to a position of prominence.
UGA fan right now, if you're telling me, well, when Raiola wins the starting, stop.
Let me stop you right there.
Please stop. We've done this before. I'm begging you to stop. Because again, it feels like we need to state the rule again.
Mm-hmm.
The only quarterback you want to play for Georgia
Say
is
more.
the one that the coaches determine gives us the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
If his name's Raiola, awesome. His name's
Awesome.
Puglisi, awesome. Beck, cool.
Brock
Don't-
Vandagriff? Fine.
Vandagriff, awesome.
Awesome.
I don't care.
I don't care. We don't care.
You shouldn't either.
We
But
don't care.
We have 2 of these lotto tickets
Mm-hmm.
to get into camp, show themselves, and see what happens. Of a lotto ticket already from these, I'm going to go down this list. There's something else. Of the list of 2019, okay? 2019, I'm going to
Sure.
Harrison Bailey went to Tennessee, now at UNLV, no accomplishments. Hudson Card, Texas to Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
Jacoby Criswell, North Carolina, Arkansas. Hunter Deckers, Luke Doty, Tyler Van Dyke, TJ Finley, Haynes King, Chandler Morris. Are these household names winning?
Are these the
incredible-
quarterbacks that you wish was like you were going to hang your franchise on?
Jeff Sims. The only 2 that matter from this, CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, were the only 2 from this list that mean anything, and the rest of them don't. And the rest of them have already in college, not even NFL, in college, didn't do anything, have transferred out. Slow your roll, everybody, please.
Unless you're an Alabama fan. And if you're an Alabama fan,
Keep that
just
going.
go ahead and speed it up, stare at the oncoming traffic, and just know that there's no way that your decrepit old coach is going to last many more years. It's not going to be long now. It's not going to be long. And then you better hope Dabo even answers the phone.
Dabo ain't answering that phone, y'all.
Because if Dabo doesn't answer the phone, look at the track record of who Alabama's hired recently.
You're going to call Pete Golding back up?
You can be groveling at Lane Kiffin's doorstep. Is what you're going to be doing.
And Lane's going to do this. He's going to take the call as he's walking into the AD's office at Ole Miss on speakerphone. And then he's just going to hang up and he's just going to sit down.
It's maybe
bad.
tough.
It's
It's
bad.
maybe tough.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
bad. This has been Locked On Bulldogs, part of Locked On Podcast. Your team every day. We'll see you all next time.
See ya.